see here somebody stuffing themselves with what I would call some toxic food, and a lady here venting out her toxic emotions. Okay, so this was the cover page of the last month of our CMSE e-magazine. Please read the 3 lines on it. Take care of your body. You have no other place to live. Take care of your mind if you want to know real peace. Take care of your spirit. Is this what you came to experience? Right? This lifetime. What is the experience that you are having? Is your spirit happy and alive, or frustrated, angry, resentful? So I will continue with the topic, detoxification therapy. This slide is what I showed earlier for the benefit of a couple of people who are new. I'll just play it again. And I had explained that organic is from the elements, like how we have come from the elements, and upon death we return to the elements of earth, water, fire, air and space. So that is what an organic system is. Now in the process of manufacturing our foods and our medicines, we have started using certain ores or certain products made from oil also, like plastic. Plastic is not something 100% organic. It's a made molecule, and you will not find it decomposing and getting into the earth in 1, 2, 5, 10, 20, 30 years. It takes close to 800 to 1000 years for some plastics to break down. So in terms of our foods also, there are certain substances that are put in our foods. For example, on the ingredients of a bottle of a packaged product. So packaged products will have different shelf life. Some are for 2 months, 3 months, some 6 months, 9 months, 2 years, 5 years. So what is being put in that product for it to remain as it is? And those are called preservatives. So we see some preservatives, some taste enhancers, and this word that's called stabilizers. So what are stabilizers? Stabilizers are certain chemicals put into the food, because if it is not there, the other products of the taste enhancers or coloring agents or preservatives, they are so volatile in nature that that whole food will get spoiled and disintegrate. It will not last for 3 months or 6 months or 9 months. So a lot of chemicals are going into our food. Now if you see anything natural, apple is ripe, if you don't pluck it, it falls down. How long does it take to get into the earth? 15 days, 1 month. Everything natural and organic will disintegrate into the elements very soon. That is the natural process. And in the olden times, and when men were living with nature, they would do that. When things are available, have them. After fruit season is gone, then they would look for other things. They would find vegetables. And vegetable season was gone, they would look on the earth what to find, and they would find grain. Because grain would grow in the rainy season and it would fall on the earth. And even in the winters, grain would be found. Because the grain on the earth would, till the next germination season, it will not germinate. So these are what our natural foods are, as per season, as per location. They differ, and that is what is natural and organic. So now, we do not want to follow this cycle of nature. I explained in my teachings that even grains were to be eaten in higher amounts during certain months because they are heat generating They are fat generating also. And typically in the winters we should be having more grains. And we don't stop at that. We keep on having them in the other months too. 365 days a year, 4 times a day. So stuffing ourselves with a lot of wheat, rice and grains, that have these side effects of a lot of their complex carbohydrates, create elevated levels of glucose in the body all the time, which requires the pancreas to work 4 times a day to keep your sugar stable. So we're doing a lot of things out of the cycle of nature, and through that route we have come into this thing that I should have this food, all throughout the year, every location in the world. So we have to formulate certain things to go with these rules that we have made, which we human beings are following. So this is a little bit about inorganic things that we are eating. Also, I mentioned earlier, in our medicines, you may do the research and find out that this tablet was made out of 2 leaves. In some organic, healthcare systems like Ayurveda, they will not take it into unnatural processes. Even drying, they will dry it under the sun. They just take it to 45, 50 degrees max. They will not heat it. But sometimes organic natural products are taken and they are heated to over 100 degrees. They are distilled and so many chemical processes are done, and the molecule changes its basic nature. And when it goes in the body, it is even looked at as an unnatural molecule. Some things the immune system starts fighting as well. So in our medicines, also in modern medicines, the ingredients may show something natural, but it may have been a converted molecule. So in our foods, inorganics, man-made substances, in our medicines too, a lot of the things right around our house, what we use for paint, what we use for cleaners, what we use for shampoos, soaps, mouthwash, toothpaste, nail polish, everything. And this is the problem when you start putting all of these inorganic things into a natural system. Dysfunction is bound to happen. It is not happening so much at a high pace for your parents and grandparents because their genes were a little bit stronger. But as the generations pass and the genes weaken, the same amount of toxic material is having a much more pronounced effect on us. Also added to the fact that the things that we are making now are more toxic than it was 5, 10 or 15 years back. So I won't get into this detail, I explained it earlier. So all of these things mainly going through our mouth or through our bodies, somehow it's getting into the inorganic things, getting into this organic system. This browse through this as well. So the 4-step protocol which I explained, stop doing the wrong things, putting the wrong foods and the wrong substances in and on your body. Stop surrounding yourself with all these electronic gadgets. I mean, if you think you're very tech savvy and you want to have things within 2 feet, you can do that. But what I'm saying is, it's everybody's free choice. But there's a price you have to pay for it. That's all the awareness that I want to bring to people and leave people with their own choices. I just like to educate them that, this is what will happen when this does. And in my book, it is as practical and down to earth as possible. Everything that I've written in my book, I have done myself. I've tried with others too. And it's explained in a way that you can also try it. I don't, it's not my habit to give people information which is based on somebody else's belief and some studies done in a particular ethnicity of white American living in this place or that place. They have already predisposed conditions and foods and so many habits that they are subjected to, which creates their particular body and how it functions. So most of my thing is that there are so much of information and things in the world, but you can They are all kitchen items, things that you use in your food. So they are things that have been used for thousands of years. I would like to elaborate on the sequence of this, why this sequence is so important. Because the person who does not stop putting foods in their body, they have to do much more of this. And if you do not do this and this, you have to do a lot of detoxification also. I was discussing with people who have written books on detoxification, and they say, my God, it's a wonderful therapy, this is what I live by, this is what I do, and they are doing it every 6 months. They're cleaning their stomach, they're cleaning the liver, and I'm saying, they said, we teach and we live by this lifestyle. And then I'm like, I already had some background knowledge in it, but I was trying to explain to them. What I finally explained is that you put junk in, then you're going to have to need to do this every 6 months, 8 months for the rest of your life. You get wise and stop putting the junk in, and maybe 1-2 rounds of cleansing, and after that you're pretty free, toxicity free. Again, to the extent that you choose to put those things back again, as and when. And last over here, activate the body's healing mechanisms. Trying to lose weight, trying to get that BP below the excess range. Also talking about a little bit of hormonal imbalance, and that exercise makes all the endorphins go high and the positive chemicals go high, bringing some balance into the body. Now the extent that you will have to do this for the rest of the life is the extent to which you are ignorant about all these things. So this is, the real focus that I want to bring to people. I'll tell you a little bit about what I do nowadays after explaining the cleanses. So detoxification through internal organ cleanses. So the point here is that human body and the body of other animals, reptiles, birds, they have been designed for certain things and a range of certain things that are organic in nature. Do you think the human being, his body is made for something to handle kryptonite? Have you heard of kryptonite? It is from the Superman movie, right? Certain kind of rock that used to make Superman weak. So the human body is designed and placed on this planet with respect to what is available on this planet. Now we are the people who are making things that never existed on this planet before. We're putting it inside, on top of our bodies. So yes, many things we can detoxify. There are certain things, even inorganic things, that the body can detoxify to a certain extent, but certain inorganic things that the body cannot detoxify. So we have to help the body through all those things if they are in our body. Because as long as they are in the body, they are going to make your body perform suboptimally. They're going to make you age faster. A very sick liver is a person who is, almost walking on the way to the graveyard. Because, liver conditions are such that people, they find out that, I just got diagnosed and 3rd stage of liver cancer. So, I've explained in my book that liver is what is called the silent organ. It does not make any noise till, you're the last step. Regularly cleanse the body. So I started with detoxification in 2009, and I'll just share a little bit of which cleanses. And then I did it. The first round was in 2009. Then after 3 months, I was so enthused by it because I got high energy levels. I felt better and more energetic. Then I did it after months, then after 6 months, and then after a year. And right now, I don't do detox to any great extent. By mistake, I did a kidney detox because I had brought parsley leaves for one of my patients for somebody in Goa, and they said they would come at a certain time to come and take it. So I actually made them because they said, oh, it's so difficult for me to make it. Although it is very simple, I'll explain to you. It's difficult for me to make it. So I made the boiled parsley leaves in water, and they didn't come, and I could not throw it out. So I had it myself. I gave it to my mom as well. So I just happened to have it about 3 months back. So I don't need to detox regularly because I don't put junk